Our first presenter of the day is Miss Lucy Rissar. James, would you put that down, please?
Hello, my name is Lucy Rissar, and I'll be presenting the short story, The Man in the Well, by Ira Sher. I was 9 when I discovered The Man in the Well. I was with a group of friends, playing hide-and-go-seek, when I heard the voice of a man calling out for help. I think it's important that we decided not to help him. Everyone, like myself, was probably on the verge of fetching a rope or asking where I could find a ladder. But then we looked around at each other, and it was decided. Because of this, I never went very close to the lip of the well, or I only came up on my hands and knees so that he couldn't see me. I remember that we were so full of games and laughter when we called down to him. He had heard us shouting while we were playing, and he'd been hollering for us to come. He was so relieved at that moment. God, get me out! I've been in here for days! He immediately instructed us to get a ladder, to get help. At first, afraid to disobey the man in the well, we turned around and began to walk toward the nearest house. But along the way, we stopped, and after waiting a good while, we quietly came back to the well. We stood or lay around the lip listening, and then Arthur, after some hesitation, called down, "What's your name?" This, after all, seemed like the most natural question. The man answered back immediately, "Do you have the ladder?" We all looked at Arthur, and he called back down, "No, we couldn't find one." "Go tell your parents there's someone in this well. If they have a rope or a ladder," he trailed off. His voice was raw. "Just tell your parents." After an hour, he began calling again, but for some reason, we didn't want to answer. We got up and began running, filling up with panic as we moved, until we were racing across the old field. The next morning, we came back. We could hear him moving around down there. After a few minutes, he asked us, "When are they coming? What did your parents say?" No one answered, until Aaron, who was the oldest, said, "My father said he's coming with the police, and he knows what to do." We admired Aaron for coming up with this on the spot. "Are they on their way?" the man in the well asked. My father said, "Don't worry, because he's coming with the police." Fine.
It was a hot day.
Oh, it was a hot day, so after a while, everyone had left, except Wendy, Aaron, and myself. He called up to us all of a sudden. "Are they coming?" "Yes," Wendy said. She sounded certain. Aaron said his dad is almost here. As soon as she said it, she was sorry. She had broken one of the rules. Now we had one of our names. There it was, and there was nothing to do about it. Then he asked again. "They're coming," he said. "Aaron's dad." "Right?" he shouted. The man in the well moved around a bit, and then he called to Aaron. "How old do you think I am, Aaron?" He didn't seem to care that no one would answer, or he seemed to expect that no one would. In the evening, he wasn't saying much. He seemed to have lost interest in us. Before I left that day, as we were quietly rising and looking at the dark shadows of the trees, he said, "Why didn't you tell anyone?" "Didn't you want to tell anyone?" Perhaps he heard the hesitation or regrets, but he wasn't going to help us now. It was almost night then, and we were spared the detail of having to see and read each other's faces. That night, it rained. I listened to the rain on the roof until I fell asleep. After that, we didn't play Bible anymore. Even when we were much older, we didn't go back. I will never go back. Thank you.
Great start. Thanks, Lucy.